Hello everyone and welcome back to another speed build. So this one is another rental lot, but it is much bigger than the last one. This is a rental mansion. It's also placed in Solani just because it's the only world that I have that honestly looks like a nice vacation world, because I doubt anybody would want to go on vacation somewhere in San Myshuno or Glimmerbrook. I don't know, it looks better here overall. So I'm just placing windows all over. Most of these windows don't exactly stay where they are. Those are just placeholders, and the same with these windows down here. I will delete them eventually and then place the rooms and then place them in the right area. So here I did a pool area and I wanted to have a fountain there, but then I thought, nah. And then I did a foundation piece, not foundation, platform. I keep mistaking the two, but I had to do it from the basement. Otherwise, the two wouldn't really connect. So here I'm just adding some windows into the pool through the little platform area. And for some reason, I couldn't add stairs against the wall while it was on the platform, but when I just created a normal basement, the stairs would still go down properly. But here I had to leave that little extra gap there. I have no idea what that problem was. That's a weird bug. Just adding in some terrain paint for the plants area, and then around there. What else? Alright, here I'm doing the lighting for these little walls here, and I really like what I did because it did like a two-tone lighting thing where the underside is one color and the upper side is another color. Here I'm just trying to figure out how to do this, and I just added walls all over. You'll see, actually, I added half walls to those little pillars down there, but I do change those to walls just because I don't like the gap in between the two floors. You see there, I just changed it into walls just so that it's more seamless. What else? And yeah, I'm just adding in more and more wall paint. I really like that wall paint from Eagle Eye, so I just haven't had the chance to use it yet. And then I'm just adding in the pathing up there, adding in the wall paint there. What else? Alright, then I'm just changing the half wall trim and adding a pool ladder and a float. And now I'm going around adding more colors here. It's very simple palette. It's white, gray, and then this brownish sort of color. There I'm just moving those things, the windows over, so that it's a bit more uniform and just not as weird looking. Adding in the white there, adding in some more paint of that sort of brown paint wall thing, I don't know. Now I'm just recoloring the platform so that they sort of match. So I went for that gray sort of color, which looks really nice. It makes it look a little bit darker now. It's not just white everywhere. And then I'm just adding in flooring on the platforms and things like that just to make it match a bit more. And then I think I do the trims, yeah. The trim so that it's not that little white piece sticking out and it's matching everything. What else? Now I'm just adding in the front door and the windows, and I'm going around adding in the placement windows. The placeholder windows. I do delete them when I add the rooms just because I think I added too many down there and it just didn't look right, so I deleted them. I added the stairs down into the lower floor, the basement. Well, I mean, yeah, technically you could call this a basement, but the lower floor. And here I'm just adding in some platforms here and there to give the rooms a bit of dimension and not just make them look flat looking. Yeah, here's where I'm just saying, okay, no, delete all of these, they just don't work. And then, more platforms. That one I decided to put on too high, but I do move it down just because I couldn't put the stairs where I wanted to. Excuse me. And here I'm just adding in more rooms. The master bedroom is up here, and as well as an office / guest room. And this house is also toddler friendly, like there is a potty and there is a toddler bed, which I do add later on. So if you ever go on vacation with your family, since you can definitely use this rental lot, it has a kid's bed with the toddler's bed. It has a potty in one of the bathrooms. I don't know, I can't remember which one. But I know one of them has the toddler potty thing, just so that your toddlers can also come here and you wouldn't need to buy them. I'm just adding windows, making sure they look good through them. So that room where I added the single bed, the toddler bed, and another single bed is going to go in that room. It's because I thought that would work nice. So it's like a kid's room. There's like a little play area. It's very tiny because I thought, well, why not make it tiny? You're here on vacation. You're not really going to spend a lot of time inside. So why make it that look like that, and the platform for the dining room, for some reason it was too high, even though I only clicked it once, and I noticed that a lot. Whenever I do a platform and I click it once, it goes up 2 tiles. You'll see it with the bathroom that I'm gonna do next. Yeah, that bathroom. For the master bedroom, you're gonna see me adding a platform, and apparently it went up 2. Or when I added in that little room, it went up another size. I mean, yeah, the bath works with a lower platform, so I really like that. It made it look like it sunk into the floor and looks really nice. So yeah, for some reason it just raised up, and I did it again, so I had to raise it down. That screwed up the tub, and I had to redo that. So I'm not going to use these doors just because I couldn't use them everywhere. Otherwise, I would need to make the lower floor higher, which would have ruined the platform staircase I have outside, and that wouldn't have been fun. Just moving that little pool float, adding in an arch. Here's where I add in the kitchen, and it honestly does look nice here. Flows nice, and then I'm just adding in some wall divider. I do have that down. It just took up too much space. So I only make half of it there. But first I'm just spinning around, so see there's only half of it. And then that looks a lot better because it kind of gives a little barrier there, but it doesn't, fully take away everything. It doesn't cover everything up. So there's still that openness. I'm just adding in the flooring, which is mostly concrete all throughout, except in the rooms where I add in some wood flooring, and in the bathrooms where I add in that new sort of wood flooring from Eco Lifestyle, that hexagonal one. So yeah, and that's also where I added a carpet for that little area in the kids' room, just so that could be a play area thing. Going around adding some more accent walls, and I do add in some columns, there we go, to the fireplaces to kind of barrier that off and make it look a little bit better. I really like this mint green sort of color, so I had to include it there. That's why I also sectioned that area off, and I do add a platform there later on. Just adding in the tub. I do add a corner tub there. Thought, why not? This is a really expensive home, so why not? I don't eventually end up going with this sort of wall coloring. I didn't like it. The little, I don't know what you would call it, but the little trim. I didn't end up liking it, so I just changed it back to the full white that the wallpaper has. It looks a lot better than that, no. So I'm just doing some of the bathrooms here, figuring out what I want as the tiling, so I eventually go with that Get Famous sort of stone, and then I just accent it with white, and the bathrooms are one of my favorite things in this because they just look so nice. They look very modern and elegant, and actually something a bathroom would look like. Adding in some platform trim, and then, going around, adding it everywhere where I can. And then I'm just darkening the bedrooms because I thought, why not have them be a little bit different and darker? Because they're bedrooms, you're not going to spend a lot of time in there. You're literally just going to go in there to sleep, and then everywhere else could be a little bit more brighter and open and not as dark. I wanted to add like maybe a shelf in between that, but I just moved them together. It worked out better, and I do nothing with that red shelf. I don't use it there because I thought, oh, like maybe we can add like toothbrushes or something like that, but I never do. Sorry if you can hear noise. Someone's using their phone and not using their phones, so sorry if you hear some noise. Let me just silence so I can cut it out. Okay, that should be enough to cut it out. Anyways, yeah, here's the bathroom. I really like the bathroom. It looks really nice. Like, adding in some towels, and then I add in a wall mirror, which I scaled down that not Kent Famous, City Living wall light, and it just lights up that little mirror so well, and adds in a little bit more light. I don't do it immediately, I do it later on, because it was like, well, what lights can I add in this one bathroom, because the ceiling lights made this one wall look really weird and darker. So it's like, what can I add here? Because I can't add in, ceiling lights. I need to add in something else. That's where the wall light came from. I also really like that mint colored curtain. It looks really nice in that bathroom, adds in a better color. So then I'm adding in the thing, and then I'm scaling it out, and it works in the mirror. So then I add it to all the other mirrors. And now we're doing the master bathroom, the one with the sunken bath and everything like that. Adding in the mirror and the lights and plant, and this is where I realized I don't think I need the red shelf anymore because I'm not going to do that. And I'm just going around. At first I wanted to add like an arch, but then I thought, no, let's just open this up and have you be able to go down there. And I finally got to use that shelf bookcase thing. It's not a bookcase, it's literally just a shelf from Eco Lifestyle. I finally got to use it. I just add a few clutter items such as books and the camera thing and a plant and a photo, things like that. And then I'm just changing in the bed to be something a bit more modern. And then, just adding in a side table, and then I just add in a few accent pieces, such as, well, obviously first the dresser, and then like a chair and some plants, and then like that. So just to make the room feel a bit more like a room, and not just empty. I really like the living room, but I do have two seating areas, like one. They're both right next to each other because they didn't know what to do with that big open space there next to the living room. It was just big and open. I was like, I can't leave it big and open. That just feels weird. So I added in another sitting area. Changing the fencing and then adding in some railings and changing the stairs there. What else? Adding in some lights. Now I'm on to the master bedroom. I use this bed. It's honestly a high quality bed. I was really surprised with the stats of that bed. That was really nice. Couldn't really find better matching side tables than that. I don't go with those wardrobes. I think that they just looked a little bit too fancy for that background. I do go with a stylization just because I thought, why not, as a master bedroom, let's add something. And then I just use those wardrobes. They fit. I just hate the fact that those wardrobes aren't straight. What happens is they're slightly diagonal towards going up. So they sort of like flare out slightly. It's weird. It's really weird, especially when you put the two of them together and you're trying to mush them together. The top comes together first, and then you have to mush them together even further to get the bottom. Just adding in some plants and a little seating area and a rug. I really like that shag rug from City Living. It's really nice. So at first I didn't know what to put here, and then I just used the mosquito painting that fit the best. It was nice and big. There was the toddler potty thing that I put in the top bathroom. I don't know why I put it up there because the toddler is sleeping down here, but hey, You can always just move it if you use it. So at first I wanted to put a dollhouse here, but for some reason it just wouldn't place. I kept going through the platform. That annoyed me. At first I wanted to do like a seating area here, but then I thought, no, let's just add the coloring thing. Considering the Sims team just gives us tons of those, why not use them? And then I'm adding in a child's bed and a little corner side table, as well as the monster light, just in case they get scared or something, to ward that off. I don't think you want to deal with that on a vacation, so it's kind of helpful. Adding in some movie posters. I really didn't know what to add there, so just some movie posters. I don't really have a lot of things for kids, but I did decide to add those lights there just to give a little bit more light up there, and then I add a mirror, and then later I do add one of those wall lights behind them. So this might okay, well, once we go back to this is the best bed in the house. It's not in the master bedroom, but it is the best bed in the house. It has like an energy regain of 10, which is the best you can get in the game. That's the bed from City Living Out. So I just wanted to use it just because I thought, hey, you know what, why not? It's a nice bed. It kind of matches with the wood, but none of the beds in the house I think are really bad. Maybe the toddler bed, just because it's a toddler bed. You don't want your toddler to literally sleep 5 seconds and then wake up. Just adding in some hallway things, and then here's where I decide now, let's just remove those stairs and make it lower. Because I couldn't put the stairs where I wanted to, and I didn't want them in the middle like that. I tried to put a lamp there, but that just didn't work, so I add in a few of these poofs, or ottomans, or whatever they're called, and then I'm painting there and another painting here. So I really like this, room. It's really, really nice. And then that's where I go in and add in the lights there, and then this is just a little hallway, and then I'm also adding these lights to make them sort of match throughout the house. I'm a little bit gassy this morning, I'm sorry. So here is the bookshelf that I mentioned that I'm just adding here, and then I add in a mosquito couch there in the corner. I didn't know what else to add, so that kind of took up the space and it looked a little bit modern. And then I just add in that rug from Eco Lifestyle. Now we're moving on to this bedroom, which I do kind of leave it for a few seconds and then I go back. I think, yeah, that does happen. I'm just adding in the dresser, and then I think I leave it for like a few seconds, yeah. Then we go to the dining area, and then I go back. I don't know why I'm such an erratic builder where I do one thing and then I go back and do all that stuff. And again, some poofs or ottomans or whatever they're called, those plants, a rug, another painting, and then I use those two city living paintings. The one is cake and the other one's like a cityscape. Yeah, those two, just because they fit in there, so that was nice. And then I also have like a gaming set right behind the TV built into the wall. So because again, you're on vacation, you probably have kids here, teenagers, maybe that's what they want to do. Just as something to do, maybe late at night, maybe you don't want them out. I don't know what your Sims game is like, so I thought cover all bases, add in a video game system. The shelving unit, I wish I had Dine Out, that shelving unit with all the food stuff on it and things like that. That would have been nice to add there, but I added in that scuba diving thing, just because, why not? Now I'm adding in, now I'm doing the dining room. At first I wanted to go with those Seasons chairs, but they just looked a bit too fancy, so I went with these ones, which are the matching ones from Eco Lifestyle. And then a buffet table, there we go, that's what they're called. Adding in a different buffet table, or accent table. Not a real buffet table, but they're technically called a buffet table. Now I'm adding in a rug. I added in the square one, just scaled it down a bit, and then I wanted to add in the smart speaker, and then I add in like books, a few books, this mosquito stuff book shelf thing, And then tissues over there on the buffet table, as well as like a photograph maybe. I wanted to put these there, but they wouldn't place right, so I just placed a regular old painting from, I think, Famous there. And then I'm just adding a little few glitter items in the kitchen, adding in a lamp, adding in another lamp, and then I think I added a rug in the kitchen just by this sink, just in case you that's a little bit of water there when you're washing dishes or whatever. I also have ceiling lights here in this main room, which they are floating because they have a glass ceiling. I forgot to take that into account, so just be in mind of that, so that you don't have those floating ceiling lights and screenshots if you use this. Well, I think you do see them in the screenshots later on, but I'm not sure. Yeah, no, just taking a look around, and now I'm doing the outside, adding in the plants. I do cut away eventually here because it's just me literally adding in all of these bushes. Yeah, see, then I'm going back and adding in these ones because they are also in the area. That's something that I like to do in more noise. Okay, well, this is something that I like to do in a lot of Sulani builds, is I like to look around and see, okay, those plants are here, those plants are here. Because with Sulani, you literally have access to all the plants that they have in the area, even if it's in debug mode. So if I see that one big plant there, I like that one, I can just add it because it can go in debug mode. And then add it. Then I just looked around more, found that those plants were also there, and I'm just adding in rocks. And then, what else? Oh, now I'm just doing the terrain paint over, because that was more of like a guideline, and now I'm using the correct terrain paint, which is that darker dirt that I really like that one a lot. And then I'm just adding some terrain paint here to the sides of that, and then I forgot to add plants here, but I do. There we go. And then I'm just adding in some loungers as well as an umbrella. And then what do I do? Alright, I add a table, and then I add the drinks tray thing. See, so there you can see the two-tone lighting of those little wall slats. I keep on saying little, they're two stories, so they're not little. But it's two-tone. It's like an aqua down at the bottom, and then a sort of purple color at the top. So that's the screenshots. I think I spoke for too long. So I hope you enjoyed the build. See ya.
Fallen one too many times, feeling like it never ends. Back again, square one. Tried to leave myself behind, looking for a better place, not to stay alone. Gain our trust and you chose to break it. Ask for truth but you only fake it. You thought you said what we had was sacred. It's all lies, all lies. I was broken and isolated, but inside held the fire waiting. Not a word that you say can save us, so don't try, 'cause this time you crossed the line. Turned. Didn't think I'd go this far, but here we are, the end. Now you're just a lesson learned, a slowly fading memory, so I can breathe again. Gain our trust and you chose to break it. Ask for truth but you only fake it. You thought you said what we had was sacred.